There was no dramatic statement, no defiant glance at the cameras, just a flash of tension in his jaw and the heavy, suffocating silence of a man who knew he had just lost everything. Welcome to Legacy's Edge. What you're seeing on screen isn't simply a prince leaving a building. It's the exact second a multi-million-pound gamble collapsed in real time. History doesn't always announce itself with noise. Sometimes, it ends quietly, behind closed doors, under fluorescent lights, with nothing left to argue. Prince Harry stormed out of the UK's highest court expecting victory in the crusade of his lifetime. For years, he had framed this battle as moral reckoning, a final stand against the press that, in his view, had poisoned his childhood, his relationships, and his peace of mind. Instead of vindication, he walked straight into a legal slaughter. The door shut behind him, sealing a verdict that didn't merely reject his demands, it dismantled his entire strategy. He entered the courtroom searching for catharsis, expecting the court to treat his trauma as currency, just as television interviews once had. But he overlooked one brutal truth. The High Court does not trade in tears. It trades in evidence. When Mr. Justice Fancourt delivered his ruling, the quiet disintegration of hope in that room was unmistakable. What mainstream media politely calls a setback, we call a financial bloodbath. In the minutes ahead, we'll break down the fatal time bar trap Harry's legal team failed to escape, the staggering £1 million bill now looming over him, and the untold contrast, how Prince William solved this exact problem years earlier, quietly, efficiently, and without losing a dime. Harry wanted a war. He got one. And now he has to pay the bill. To understand why Harry stormed out with such visible fury, we need to rewind to the moments before the final judgment. In high-stakes litigation, verdicts aren't always delivered in speeches. Sometimes, they arrive in a glance. According to sources inside the courtroom, there was a heart-stopping moment that signaled the collapse of the case before a single word was spoken. During a brief pause in proceedings, the atmosphere thickened under the weight of millions of pounds, decades of resentment, and years of public conflict. While Harry sat hoping for vindication, his legal team saw something else entirely. Witnesses described a quiet unraveling. No shouting, no drama, just the subtle tightening of fingers against polished wood and a fleeting, terrified exchange of eyes between barristers. One senior lawyer leaned in slightly. No notes were passed. No files opened. Just a look, followed by a glance down at the table. In courtroom language, that meant only one thing. It's over. Moments earlier, the judge had asked a question that sliced through Harry's emotional testimony like a scalpel. Harry had spoken passionately about betrayal, ethics, and the moral sickness of the tabloids. He wanted the court to weigh his suffering. The judge, however, asked about timing, specifically, why this case was being heard now. That single question drained the oxygen from the room. Harry looked down, not in defeat but disbelief. He realized, perhaps too late, that while he was fighting a moral crusade, the court was consulting a calendar. His lawyers understood instantly. The judge wasn't rejecting Harry's feelings. He was zeroing in on the statute of limitations. The legal guillotine. Under British law, claimants typically have 6 years from the moment they become aware of wrongdoing to bring a claim. Harry was suing over alleged phone hacking incidents dating back nearly 2 decades. By any objective legal standard, he was catastrophically late. His entire defense hinged on one explosive claim, that a secret agreement between Buckingham Palace and newspaper executives had prevented him from suing earlier. The judge dismantled that argument piece by piece. There was no signed agreement, no written proof, no emails, no corroboration, just Harry's recollection and vague assertions. The court found evidence that Harry had long known about the alleged hacking and had access to legal advice. He wasn't restrained by a secret deal. He waited. And because he waited, he lost. This was the time bar trap. Harry believed moral righteousness would override procedural law. It didn't. In the High Court, deadlines are sacred. Miss them, and your case collapses, royal title or not. With the majority of his claims thrown out, the consequences became brutally real. Unlike the United States, the UK follows the loser pays rule. Lose the case, and you don't just cover your own legal fees, you pay your opponents too. With millions already spent and more still owed, Harry now faces a bill that could erase a significant portion of his post-royal fortune. Every pound lost funds the very media institutions he claims to be fighting. The irony is merciless. While Harry burned money in open court, his brother William handled the same issue with surgical precision. Court documents revealed that Prince William settled his own phone hacking claim back in 2020, quietly, privately, and profitably. No spectacle. No public crusade. No financial ruin. William played chess. Harry played boxing. Harry sought catharsis. William sought resolution. The court rewarded the man who understood the rules, not the one who tried to bend them with emotion. In the end, Harry didn't just lose a case. He lost leverage, money, and credibility. The High Court didn't deny Harry's pain. It simply ruled that pain is not evidence. Harry treated the courtroom like a therapy session. The court treated it like what it is, a place governed by law, deadlines, and proof. He wanted validation. He received a procedural dismissal, and so, as the doors closed behind him, Prince Harry walked away not as a victorious crusader, but as a man standing alone in the ruins of his expectations. The lesson is as cold as it is universal. There is a difference between being morally right and legally victorious. Courts do not heal wounds. They enforce rules. Now the verdict passes to you. Is Prince Harry a hero fighting to the bitter end, or a gambler chasing a lost cause? The case may be over, but the fallout has only just begun.